java.sql.connection methods. Is it over? Writing is completed. I'll ask some questions. Give me answer. What is the first method? Method name. Create statement. Create statement return type is statement. Second method name, prepare statement. That method return type is statement. Third name, call. Return type, callable. You observe, create statement method. If you call, you'll get a statement reference. Prepare statement method. If you call, you'll get a prepared statement reference. Prepare call method. If you call, you'll get a callable statement reference. So, return type, not only primitive data types, return type, reference data types also available. Now, here, these are reference data types. Now, you already studied how many categories of data types in Java? 2 categories. Primitive data types, non-primitive, we are calling like a reference data types. Primitive data types, reference data types. Okay, 2 categories of data types. Primitive data types, how many are there? 8. What are those? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. These are 8 primitive data types. What are reference data types? Can I call reference data type? Yes, strings, classes, interfaces, enumerations, like these all remaining all reference data types. What's the difference between primitive type, reference type? Suppose here, now, suppose class demo. Here, class demo. Here, what I'll do, see, integer x, string y, I'll write. Okay, integer x, string y. This x is primitive type variable or reference type variable? What is it? Primitive type variable. Y is primitive type or reference type? Reference type variable. Now, here, int x equal to 10, I'll write. String y equal to hello, I'll write. Okay. Now, it is primitive type variable. It is reference type variable. What primitive type variable contains? What reference type variable contains? What x contains? What x contains? Primitive type variable contains data, value. Now, what x contains? 10. But what y contains? Hello or hash code? This hello contains or hash code contains? Hash code, not hello. Okay. Primitive type variable, reference type variable, lot of difference is there. If you write primitive type variable, X memory allocated, in that memory 10 will be stored. Okay. But reference type variable, if you write Y contains hash code, that hash code refers an object, that object contains hello. Like this will be there. So, X contains data, Y contains hash code. This object address it contains. Address mapped into another code. That code implemented with hashing technique. That code is called as hash code. So, if you write like this, lot of difference is there. This hello itself an object of string class. One object created, in that object hello will be stored. That object address stored here. Address we are not calling in Java. Address we are calling like a hash code. Address replaced with another code. That code is implemented with hashing technique. That code is called hash code. So primitive type variable contains data. Reference type variable contains hash code. Now, if we call create statement method, you will get a statement. Statement reference it comes. That reference contains hash code. Calling like a reference code also. Either reference code or hash code, you can or address like that will call terminology. Any primitive type variable, data will be there. Reference type variable, address, hash code will be there. Okay. Now, these all reference data types, statement, prepared statement, callable statement. These all actually interfaces. Already JDBC API I given. List of interfaces, list of classes I given. No? Okay. Driver, statement, creates a prepared statement, callable statement, connection, and blob, clob. These all database metadata, result set. These all I given list of interfaces. So in a list of interfaces, these three interfaces also present. Okay. Now, if you want statement interface, this is you have to call. If you want prepared statement interface, this method you have to call. If you want callable statement, this method you have to call. But if you want to call these methods, first connection required. Already we got a connection. After getting connection, you can call these methods. But whether this is required or this is required or this is required, how to select? What is the difference between these three? Note down. Next heading, statement interface. Statement interface. Note down. Statement interface. Statement interface. It is used to execute static SQL queries. It is used to execute static SQL queries. It is used to execute static SQL queries. Say examples I'll give. Say statement interface. It is used to take SQL queries. Now, suppose I want to insert a record in a database. I want to insert a record in a database. We'll write one SQL query. I want to insert one record in a database. In a database, already student table is there. Assume. It's on database. Oracle database. Database. What is database? It is a software and it is an organized collection of data. I given already. It is a software and it is an organized collection of data. How the data organized in a database? In the form of tables. For example, one table, student table. In this table, what will be there? Fields and records. Okay. Suppose here roll number, name, marks. Here roll number, name, marks. I want to insert one record. Then we'll write one SQL query. What will write? Those who know SQL, give me answer. Insert into student values. Like a roll number, name of the student, marks of the student, like this will write. Okay. Insert into student values. Like this will write. Here, this is SQL query. Okay. These are values. Query along with values. This is called static SQL query. Like here, this type of SQL queries, if you want to execute, then we require statement interface. Suppose I want to retrieve data from database. What is the query will write? Select star from student. Suppose I want only roll number 5 record. What will write? Where roll number equal to 5. Now This type of SQL queries, if you want to execute, this type of SQL queries, if you want to execute, you can use statement interface. Say here, for learning JDBC, SQL knowledge is also required. Those who don't know SQL, you can understand advanced Java, not a problem. But compulsory further, either now parallelly or later, but you have to learn SQL, compulsory. Okay. If you want to develop any project, compulsory database required. Without database, there is no project. Okay. Database is mandatory if you want to develop project. Project, if you want to develop, database compulsory. But database data, if you want to access, data accessing logic required. That is SQL, structured query language. That knowledge required. But even if you don't know, you can understand. Advanced Java possible to understand. But because I'm going to explain only one query, one DML query, one DQL query, one DDL query, one Java program, I'll explain. Like select of types you can write. Now 1-2 queries I'll explain. This advanced Java class you'll understand. But while developing project, only this knowledge. That is the reason compulsory to learn SQL. Either learn parallelly or learn, but at last you have to learn. Okay. People already started Oracle, just those who completed, those who are learning still. Okay, almost majority people learning. Okay, not a problem. Those who didn't learn also, you continue, attend. Okay. Either parallelly learn or later learn, but at last compulsory required. Okay. Say insert into student values. We are going to insert roll number, name, marks. Select a star from student where roll number 5, roll number equal to 5. Roll number 5 record only comes, roll number, name, marks. This type of SQL queries are called static SQL queries. This type of queries, if you want to execute, statement interface required. If you want statement interface, you have to call this method. If you want to call this method, first connection required. Up to connection already studied. Already studied no connection. After getting connection, call this method. Then this interface reference comes. With that, we can execute this type of SQL queries. How? I'll show you. First write these two examples. Examples, write these two. Examples. Two examples I given. Next, repeat statement interface. Statement interface. It is used to execute static SQL queries. Okay. Prepared statement interface. Note down. It is used to execute dynamic SQL queries. Dynamic SQL queries. Examples. Now, query without values. It is called dynamic SQL query. Say, insert into student values. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Values pass later. Values I'll pass later. Or select star from student where roll number equal to question mark. This type of queries are called dynamic SQL queries. Called dynamic SQL queries. So these values will pass later. Later we are going to pass. Now we have a query here, but no values. Here query is there, but no values. This type of SQL queries are dynamic SQL queries. Dynamic SQL queries. If you want to execute this type of SQL queries, prepared statement interface required. Prepared statement interface required. Now, these values, if you want to pass dynamically in a core Java, what you learned, what we use it? Scanner class. One option, scanner class. Any other option? Only scanner class you studied? Now, with the scanner class, you can accept the dynamically. Next. Buffered reader. Buffered reader you can use. Next. Next. Data input stream. Okay, data input stream. Next. You can accept the data from keyboard now dynamically. One is scanner class, one is buffered reader, one is data input stream. Next, system.in.read input string class. Next, any other option? Command line arguments also you studied, no? Command line arguments. Okay. See, we have a scanner class, buffered reader class, data input string class, system.in.read, command line arguments. These 5 concepts, many are there. These 5 very regular we use. Okay. Here, scanner class if you use, it is latest class, Java 1.6 version class. So here, if you use this scanner class, it is more comfortable as compared to other, because here conversions are not required. If you want integer, next int method. If you want string, next method. If you want float, next to float method. If you want boolean, next to boolean, like that you'll call. If you use scanner class, conversions are not required. Whatever data type required, that data type you can use. But if you use buffered reader, string format possible. Later you have to convert. If you use data input stream, it is also better. Conversions not required. But problem is data input stream takes again one more class, input stream reader class. That is a problem. In buffered reader also same. Here also input stream reference you have to pass. Even scanner class also it will take system.in. That is also related to this one only. So actually first introduced to this one, system.in.read. That will take byte array. Byte array you have to convert into string. You have to remove extra spaces. Later you have to convert into integer. This much process is there with system.in.read. First byte array to string conversion. From that string you have to remove extra spaces. After that you have to convert into integer, character, float, double, boolean, like that. It is very complicated. That is the reason only later data input stream came. But data input stream also compulsory, this concept you have to apply. Without this concept, that concept is not there. Even buffered reader will take input stream reader. Again, it will take input string class reference only. Even scanner class also will take system.in. That is also this concept only. So at last for all, this is a root. But command line argument, string format will receive. In a main method, string args you already know. That is command line arguments. But again, you need a conversion. That's what in this all best option is scanner. Okay. But actually in real time, we don't use these all. In real time, no scanner class, no these all. These all where will accept at the command prompt. At the command prompt. In real time project, command prompt window will not see. Will not see command prompt window. Graphical user interfaces will be there. So this type of GUI programming will be there. Like roll number, name, marks, submit button, reset button. Like this, graphical user interfaces will be there in real-time projects. This type will be there. Submit button, reset button. So data entry operator is this type of user interfaces. Data entry operator is not using command prompt, because command prompt all people cannot operate. All people cannot operate. Commands required to operate. But these all anybody can understand. This type of graphical user interfaces, anybody can understand. So seeing this graphical user interface only, they'll understand. We have to type roll number here, we have to type name, we have to type marks, later we have to click submit button. If any mistake happened, we have to click reset. Like that, anybody can understand. This type of graphical user interfaces, anybody can understand. If they know just a simple English, they can operate. See, here, user-friendly purpose, graphical user interface only they'll use. They won't use command prompt applications in real time. Graphical user interface, character user interface, no one will prefer in real time, because this user, this type of graphical user interface, anybody can understand. Say, who is teaching how to withdraw money from ATM center? No one is teaching, no. They are learning themselves. Who is teaching how to send mail? No one is teaching. They are sending mail. Who is teaching how to do online shopping? No one is teaching. They are learning themselves. How to book movie ticket? How to book railway ticket? Who is teaching? No one is teaching. They are learning themselves because of this type of user interfaces. This type of user interfaces, anybody can understand. That much easy. That's what in real time will accept the data like this. But this type of program, if you want to write, HTML required. Type in HTML in a browser window. When you click on submit button, Sowlet program will receive. Sowlet program. Through Sowlet program, these all will be received by Sowlet program. In the Sowlet program, we'll write JDBC code. Then it will receive. So that type program, if you want, first HTML required, next Sowlet required, next JDBC required, next SQL required. That is next topic we'll see after JDBC. At that time, what I'll do, but directly HTML to JDBC not possible. HTML to JDBC not possible. That is the reason with core Java concepts you will learn scanner class. Scanner class or buffered reader or command line argument. These concepts I'll explain. But after completion of JDBC, while teaching Sowlets, I'll teach with HTML. Now present also you are learning JDBC. Later in a Sowlets also we use JDBC. At that time I'll pass this type. Present either scanner class or buffered reader class or data input string class or system.in.read or command line argument. Any one we can use. Present. Because you didn't study Sowlet. That's the reason. First we'll see like this. Like a core Java concept style only we'll see. Later that type also I'll teach. This type of SQL queries, if you want to execute, prepared statement interface required. Say, this type of SQL queries, if you want to execute, statement interface required. This type of queries, if you want to execute, prepared statement interface required. Okay. Now, one more is there. Callable statement. Just note on. Next one. Callable statement interface. Callable statement interface. Callable statement interface. It is used to execute PLSQL programs. It is used to execute PLSQL programs. It is used to execute PLSQL programs. Examples. Procedures and functions. Procedures and functions. PLSQL programs, if you want to execute, we require callable statement interface. And functions we use. Say, performing the task. If you want to perform a task, First of all, connection required. After establishing connection, these concepts required. Now, based on our requirement, select. Okay. Now, callable statement interface. It is used to execute PLSQL programs. Examples, procedures, and functions. So, inside the procedure, SQL code we can write. Inside the procedure, inside a function. That's what procedural language, structured query language. We mix it. So it's just like a Java methods. Okay. Complicated task. You can use procedures and functions. Multiple SQL queries. If you want to execute, then we can use PLSQL programs. Okay. Like that, we have to select. Now, writing is over. Writing is over. Now, if you want to execute static, see first of static SQL, dynamic SQL, and procedure you observe. Static SQL, what is there? Query is there, values are there. Query is there, value is there. Dynamic, query is there, but no values. Okay, query, no value. But PLSQL program, no query, no value. Everything later you can pass. So, as PLSQL program directly you can store permanently in the hard disk. Later you can call from Java, that type programming. So here no query, no values, everything dynamic possible. Now, if you want to execute this type of SQL queries, this type of SQL queries are called static SQL queries. If you want to execute this type of static SQL queries, which interface required? Which interface required? Statement interface required. For getting statement interface reference, which method you have to call? Create statement you have to call. For calling create statement, which interface reference required? Connection required. But already connection we got it, no? After getting connection, connection reference dot create statement. If you call, statement comes. Suppose if you want to execute dynamic SQL queries, then which interface required? Which interface? Prepared statement. For getting prepared statement, which method you have to call? Prepare statement method. Prepare statement method, if you want to call, which interface required? Connection. Already we got connection. With that, you can call this one, you will get it this one. With that, you can execute this type of SQL queries. Okay. If you want to execute procedures and function, which interface required? Callable statement. If you want to get this one, which method you have to call? Prepare call. Prepare call. If you want to call this method, which interface required? Connection interface required. Okay. Now you observe all methods are in connection interface. First connection compulsory. After getting connection only, these all you can call. Now connection is interface. Interface contains abstract methods and even concrete methods also possible from Java 8. Java 8 onwards, concrete methods also we can write, no? Java 8 feature. Okay. Now, these all are abstract methods. See, connection interface. If you open Java P java.sql.connection. Now, if you write like this, it will display all methods. See, all methods are displayed. See how many methods are there? So many methods are there. These all, if you want to copy, just will write one greater than symbol, one file name will write. Then it is copied into file. That is teaching purpose I am using, not required to you. I'll copy. I opened. Whatever is displayed at the command prompt, that is I copied in file. See, these many methods are there. These many methods are there. You observe. Here connection interface methods you observe. These all variables. These all variables. Are these instance variables or class variables or local variable? Class variables. How do you know? Static. You observe. After that, methods you observe. Abstract, abstract, abstract. These all abstract methods. Abstract methods means which has no body. No, without body. Abstract, abstract. But last methods you observe. Default method means? Default method means? Default method also is there, no? What is default method? These are concrete. In interface, concrete methods also possible. If you want to write concrete method in interface, default keyword you have to attach. Then possible. Default keyword, if you attach, concrete method possible. So default keyword, by using default keyword, we can write concrete method in interface. That is Java 8 feature. Java 8. Java 8. So many changes are there. Java 8 is most important. New date and time API introduced in Java 8 only. This type of default methods introduced in Java 8 only. Static methods in interface also in Java 8 only. Lambda expressions also in Java 8 only. Functional interface also Java 8 only. Stream API, method references, constructor references, optional class. Many concepts introduced in Java 8. So almost 10 plus features in Java 8. Java 8 is most important. So these all concrete methods. If you want to write concrete methods in interface, we must use default keyword. Default keyword required. Okay. Here. But these all abstract methods. Many abstract methods are there. But we are not going to implement. Already implemented in driver software. So already given JDBC specification used by vendors to develop JDBC driver. JDBC specification used by Java programmer to develop database application. This point I given already. These all implemented in driver software. That is the reason no need to implement by us. So we are not going to implement. That point note down. Note. All JDBC interfaces are implemented in JDBC driver software by driver vendors. All JDBC interfaces are implemented in JDBC driver software by driver vendors. All JDBC interfaces are implemented in JDBC driver software by driver vendors. So we are not going to implement. Driver company, whoever developed driver, already implemented in driver software. So directly can call. But actually abstract method can you call? No. But we can call here. Reason already driver loaded. It appears abstract, but it is concrete. It is implemented in driver software. But driver software library also separate will be. That is not required to you. Because in different driver, different implementation will be there. Names are same. Any driver, any database. Any database, Java program is same. Any driver, Java program is same. Okay. JDBC program is same for any database. JDBC program same for any driver. It is driver independent, independent. That type developed. Okay. All JDBC interfaces are implemented in JDBC driver software by driver vendors. Listen with more concentration. Few people are not listening. My eyes on everyone. They are concentrating on mobiles. Now, then attending class is wasted. No use. If you are concentrating on mobile, you are discussing with your friend or you are thinking outside, no use. Attending class is waste. Now, because each and every word important only. I am not teaching story. It is technical subject. Today onwards programming you observe. Complete programming topic. Okay. Now, this is totally programming related only, no? So, listen with more concentration. Now, first I'll teach how to use statement. Next I'll teach prepared statement. Next I'll teach callable statement. If you want statement, create statement method you have to call. It doesn't take any parameter. But prepare statement, it will take one parameter string. Now, this is called dynamic SQL query. Right here. Dynamic SQL query. This string is PLSQL program. Procedure name or function name. Procedure name or function name. Dynamic SQL query. That string nothing but dynamic SQL query. Here string nothing but procedure name or function name. See, create statement doesn't take any parameter. Prepare statement takes one parameter string. Prepare call method takes one parameter string. Here doesn't take parameter. In statement interface methods are there. In those methods you have to write query. But here dynamic SQL query we have to write here only. And the PLSQL procedure name, function name you have to write here only. This string is nothing but dynamic SQL query. This string is nothing but procedure name or function name. Now, first of all, statement interface methods I'll give. Then we'll see programs. Now, next Java P Java.SQL statement. Here also some methods required. Here also present three methods required. Those three methods I'll explain. Methods. First, this method required. Next, this method required. Next, this method required. If you know how to use Java library, just if you know how to use Java library, then advanced Java is nothing. These methods how to call, just if you know, that's it. But which method required, that is not possible as a beginner now. For that, some experience required. That's what methods I'm giving. Just calling method is important. Right, is all. These all noted. Online students, any doubts are there? End of the session, I'll clarify your doubts. Listen the class and write the notes. Execute, update, execute query. Execute, update, execute query. Right, is all. Execute, update, execute query. Three methods. Execute, update, execute query. Three methods in statement interface. Noted? Now, what's the difference between these three? We'll see. Is it completed? No. First, note on execute method. Execute method. It is suitable to execute DDL queries. It is suitable to execute DDL queries. First method, execute method. It is suitable to execute DDL queries. The data definition language. Note on DDL stands for data definition language. Examples: create, alter, drop, truncate. So many are there, no? Dash dash, etc. It is suitable to execute DDL queries. DDL stands for data definition language. Alter, drop, dash dash, etc. This type of queries, if you want to execute method you can call, but best option execute method. I'll explain. Execute method, it is suitable to execute DDL queries. Data definition language. Examples: create, alter, drop, dash dash, etc. Next one, execute update method. Execute update method. It is suitable to execute DML queries. Or DML full form? DML stands for data manipulation language. Note on. DML stands for data manipulation language. It is suitable to execute DML queries. DML stands for data manipulation language. Here examples: insert, update, delete. Okay, like this, dash dash, etc. Insert, update, delete, dash dash, etc. Execute method suit to execute DDL queries. Execute update queries. Execute query. Execute query method. Execute query method. It is suitable to execute DQL queries. DQL stands for data query language. Example: select. Select we can call it a DML also, but I given separate here. Select. DQL queries, data query language. Example: select. Depends upon your query, you have to select the method. Depends upon your query, you have to select the method. Is it over? Now, in a statement interface, three methods are given. In statement interface, three methods are given. What are the method names? Execute, execute update, execute query. Execute method suitable to execute which type of queries? DDL queries. DDL full form? Definition language. Examples of DDL: create, alter, top, dash dash. Many other. Execute date method suitable to execute DML queries. DML full form? Data manipulation language. Examples of DML: insert, update, delete, dash dash, etc. Next, execute query method suitable to execute DQL queries. Full form? Data query language. Example. So here what I'll do first, this program I'll teach. With this one program I'll teach. With this one program I'll teach. Then statement will finish. But what I'll do, all queries I'm not going to teach. One DDL, one DML, one DQL. Later any other query, Java program is same. Okay. Suppose create query I'll teach. Delete, drop query, alter queries you can write later. Java program is same because this is Java class, not SQL class. That's what one example I'll take. Like SQL queries you will learn in Oracle class. That is also on course, no? That is also, it will take 2.5 months. So each and everything if I explain here, it will take more time. That's what. Here one DDL program, one DML program, one DQL program I'll explain. Later you change the queries, execute. Java program is same. Okay. Now execute method suitable to execute which type of queries? DDL. That DDL query we have to write here. Execute update method suitable to execute DML. That DML query we have to write here. Execute query method suitable to execute DQL. That DQL query we have to write here. That's the reason parameter string. Say all method throws exception. All methods are throwing SQL exception, SQL exception, SQL exception. If any problem occurred while creating, while inserting, while updating, while deleting, SQL exception will be thrown. And all are public abstract because is all already implemented in driver software. No need to implement by us. But in a specification, abstract only appears. But implemented. If not implemented, error comes. Okay. It is implemented. But where it is implemented? Driver software. That is the reason first line will load the driver. Once if the driver is loaded, you can access all. Okay. Is it over? Now we'll see programs. We'll see one programs. See. I'll open Eclipse. Now workspace already selected. Okay. Now in this folder I'm going to store. I created yesterday one folder, 4 p.m. batch. In that batch folder I'm going to store launch. See, yesterday we written two programs, connection demo and demo. Okay. This is Eosin. Now I'll write next program. See, right click, new class. Now I want to create a table. That's what file name I'm giving, create demo. Create demo class name. Main method I selected, finish. This is, we got it. Now, just now you have seen steps. First, loading a JDBC driver. Next, establishing connection. Next, performing the task. Last, closing a connection. Now, first step already completed. Second step already completed. Today, you are going to see third step. Now, first, loading a driver. Which method required? For loading a driver, which method required? For name method. For name method in which class? Class. Is it instance method or class method? Class method. How to call? With class name. What we have to write? Class dot for name. How many parameters? One parameter. Which type? String type. Okay. What is that string? Driver class. What is the driver class? Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. Okay. Driver class loaded. After loading a driver, establishing a connection. Establishing connection, which method we have to call? Get connection. Get connection method in which class? Manager class. Is it instance method or class method? Class method. How to call? By using class name. What is the class name? Driver manager dot get connection. What is the return type? Then what we have to write? Connection con equal to driver manager dot get connection. Now here three parameter, which type? String type. Okay. Three parameter string type. Now here connection establishment code. Now here URL. What is the URL? JDBC colon Oracle colon 10 colon at localhost colon 1521 XC. What is JDBC here? Protocol. What is Oracle? What is 10? Logical name. What is localhost? Domain name or computer name. If the database in other system, that computer name. This is port number. This is service ID. For getting service ID, what is a SQL query? Select star from global underscore name. Whatever username, password is there in your system, that is your right. In my system is there. Password manager is there. With this, connection established. First step completed, second step completed. Third step. Now I want to execute a DDL query. Create query. I want to create a table in database. Create query. Is it DDL or DML or DQL? DDL. For DDL, which method required? Execute method. Execute method suitable. Execute method in which interface? Statement interface. First statement required. No? For getting statement reference, which method you have to call? Just now I explained. Now, once again, I'll ask some questions. Give me answer. I want to create a table. Say first our task. It's on database. It is one database. This database, Oracle database, any one database. Database. This is Java application. Through Java application, one SQL query I'll pass. That is called SQL request. To create a table. Table name, I decided student table. In the table, I decided three fields. Roll number, name, marks. Roll number, name, marks. Now, here, Oracle data types required. This roll number, which type required in Oracle? Number type. Suppose maximum 3 digits. Number 3 type. Okay. Name. Varchar to 10. Varchar to 10 characters maximum. Marks, which type required? Again, number. Number 3 type. This is my task. Through Java application, one SQL query I'll pass to database. Then table created with these 3 fields with these 3 data types. After that, one message comes, table created successfully. That is called SQL response. This is our task. This is our task. For this task, whatever required, I explained. Now I'll ask questions. You have to give answer. With your answers, I'll write the program. This is our task. This is my task. Just write this task. Note on diagram, write it. Write this diagram. Through Java application, I'll send one SQL query to create a table. Then table is going to be created in database. That is our task. It is our Java program. It's equivalent to SQL prompt. Our Java program equivalent to SQL prompt. Through SQL prompt also can create table, no? But our Java program equivalent to SQL prompt now. Later, what will happen? Java program can be anywhere in the world. Database can be anywhere in the world. That type of programming possible with solids. Okay. That purpose we use. Is it completed diagram? Now, here connection established. After establishing connection, now after establishing connection, we have to perform the task. Now I want to create a table. Create query required. Create query DDL or DML or DQL? DDL. For DDL query, which method is suitable? Execute method. Execute method in which interface? Statement interface. For getting statement interface reference, which method you have to call? Create statement. Create statement method in which interface? Connection interface. Already we got a connection. With this connection reference, can I call create statement? Yes. What is the return type of that method? What is the return type? Statement. Then what we have to write? Statement. Something stmt, something whatever you want, you can write. Next. Con dot create statement. That's it. Now, with this stmt, Can I call execute method? Yes, execute method. Execute method return type, what is there? Boolean. Boolean b equal to, all right, stmt dot execute. How many parameters are there? One parameter. Which type? String type. What is that string? Query, DDL query. We have to write query. What we have to write? Create table, table name. Create table, table name. Here, already given diagram. Here, we are creating student table. In that, roll number, name, marks. Now, create table, table name. So it is a SQL language, not Java. This is SQL. Create table, table name. After that, here, how many data types? How many fields? 3 fields. Roll number, name, marks. Roll number, number type. Name, varchar2 type. Marks, number type. So these all data types in Oracle. Like data types in MySQL, data type in MS Access, it will be different. SQL will be almost same. So here, roll number. Roll number. Which type? Number type. Next, name. Varchar2 10. Next, marks. Number type. Okay. Now, like this, table created. Now, here, if table created, it returns true. Table not created returns false. Whether it is be true or false, also no need to check. If any problem is there, control jumps to catch block. That's what you can omit this. Directly, you can write one message. You can write table created successfully. Now, here all are showing errors. No, these are exception, unhandled exception, unhandled exception. These all. Now, exceptions you have to handle. Now, these exceptions, if you want to handle, all are throwing exception. All are checked exception. Is it compulsory to handle checked exception? Yes. Otherwise, those all compile time errors only. In Eclipse, what will happen? While typing only compiled. Eclipse, what will happen is while typing only compiled, line by line, character by character compiled. So this is the problem comes while teaching in core Java without while interacting. Suppose that line is valid or not valid. If I ask, everyone will give answer not valid because red lines appears. No, that's what in core Java interaction not possible. If I use Eclipse, that is the reason core Java without Eclipse I taught. Without Eclipse I taught. While interacting, valid or not valid means seeing that line only will give answer. Okay, that is the reason core Java I taught without Eclipse. Now, compulsory you have to handle. If you don't handle, compile time error occurs. See, shortcut keys I didn't explain. I'll explain. Now here, all exceptions are handled over. Now, this program, if I run, you observe. See what will happen. See here. Driver class loaded, connection established, statement created with the table created. Message comes. Now I'll run this program. See, right click, run as Java application. Save. Here you are getting one error. What is the error you observe? SQL syntax error exception. Name is already used by an existing object. In my database, student table already present. That's what it is not accepting. Now, I'll open SQL prompt. Here. In my system, already that table is there. Okay, already that table is there. I'll delete. Drop table student. Table dropped. Suppose now if I describe the table, object student does not exist. Okay, now I'll run. Say right click, run as Java application. Table created successfully. Now you can check. Describe student. Say created no. Now table created. Roll number number 3. Name varchar to 10. Marks number 3. I created through Java program, not in SQL, not in SQL prompt. Okay. When I executed this Java program, that table created. Okay. Now this program, these all individually, if you write, it is time wasted. If you write instead of this, I'll give star symbol. I'll give. Now what I'll do is this connection. I'll remove just star. I'll write. Then no need to write these all. Okay. Unnecessary comments, all those things I'll remove. So instead of class not found exception, these all directly just exception I'll give. Later you can attach according to your requirement. This is enough. Okay. Now done. Program to create a table. Program to create a table. Program to create a table. Write this program. So one connection program you have seen, it is second program. Offline students, if any doubts comes in the programming or installation, any problems comes, lab faculties are there, lab mentors are there, you contact them, they'll guide you. Offline student. Online students, every day, end of the session, I'll clarify your doubts. Offline students, you contact lab faculties. Okay, if any doubts are there. If they don't solve, you can bring. I'll explain. Okay. Installation problem or doubts, anything, just go to lab. Lab mentors are there, they'll help you. Offline students. If they don't solve your doubts, your problems, then you can ask me. Or even you can mail to my mail ID, I'll give a reply. But I'll give a reply only on Sundays. Okay. Because morning to evening, 10 hours, I'll be in Amirpet only. So that's what, only Sundays I'll give a reply. That is my mail ID. venkatesh.mansani@yahoo.com. Every Sunday, I'll give a reply. If you post on Sunday also, you'll get a reply Sunday. If you post on Monday also, you'll get a reply on Sunday. Okay. So JDK should be there in your system. Oracle should be there. Eclipse should be there. Then only. JDK, Oracle, Eclipse. Later, servers, browsers also next topic onwards. So this is just a second program. One program you have seen, connection establishment. Okay, the type 2 driver program also you have seen, but type 2 driver no need to practice. That will leave it. Type 4 driver connection program, that continuation, this one performing the task. Okay. Marks. That is right. Just I placed it instead of here. That is I placed it here. Next line. That's it. With this first line, driver loaded. With this second line, connection established. Okay. With this third line, statement created to execute static SQL queries. With fourth line, query passed to database. Then executed in database. In this program, two languages are there. What are the languages? Java, SQL. Java code executed in JRE. SQL code executed in database engine, database environment, database side. So this query cannot, Java runtime environment cannot understand that query passed to database. Under database environment, it is executed. Just write that point. Is it over? Program? Program is completed? No done. In the above example, Java code executed under Java runtime environment. JRE. And SQL code executed under database environment. In the above example, Java code executed under Java runtime environment and SQL code executed under database environment. In the above example, Java code executed under Java runtime environment and SQL code executed under database environment. Okay. Say type 2 driver, no need to practice. That will leave it. Type 4 driver program, one connection program I taught. One more creating table I taught. Now, if you want to execute any DDL query, Java program is same. Only here, different. Okay. Java program is same. Only this SQL query part different. SQL query. That's it. Okay. Now you can write alter query. You can write truncate. You can write drop. Those all DDL only. Java code is same. Our Java program equivalent to SQL prompt. See what I did. First, what I did through Java, I send one SQL query, a table created. Whether table created or not, to check, I opened SQL prompt. Actually, we don't require SQL prompt because through Java program, I created table here. To checking purpose, I am sending one more query describe. But can you open database? Can you see the code? Can you see the table? You cannot open database. You cannot see the database. Confirmation purpose on SQL query, I passed through SQL prompt. Describe student, I passed. Then we got it. Actually, we don't require this one. It is only confirmation purpose. So in a Oracle class, every day you use this one only. But Java class, Java program only. This is we don't require. Tomorrow, other queries, DML queries, DQL queries, how to execute, we'll see. Online student, just wait 2 minutes. I'll clarify your doubts. One by one, I'll clarify your doubts.